Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast. This is episode 133, the Ant-Man and Wasp spoiler review. I want to say thank you for listening. If you just stumbled across us on the interwebs, check us out at kfpodcast.com, at kfpodcast on Facebook, at Ken Fred Podcast on the Twitter, and at Ken Frederick Podcast on all your other social media needs. Please check us out on SoundCloud. We have fresh weekly content where we talk about things going on that given week. So today on the show, we got Dawn.
Hello.
We got Brock.
Hi.
We got Lance.
Yep.
We got Rob.
Hello.
And via satellite, we got the cheese, Justin.
Hey.
So we're going to spoil the crap out of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
So are you ready?
We are ready when you are, sir.
All right, let's do it. I don't have any big spoiler thing for this to like.
You can not to scream out?
No.
Well, then start with some of the guest stars.
All right, Rob, some thoughts about the movie.
I enjoyed it. I think that there was a contingency of bad guys in this movie. It wasn't just one. Mm-hmm. So they did that well. I think that can get convoluted very fast. But it held together. It didn't get confusing. It was entertaining. It was a summer movie. So, it followed Infinity War Part 1, so it had, coattails to ride of that, and it didn't do bad. I wouldn't put it in that caliber of a movie, but I still thought it was entertaining and well put together, at least. And I personally enjoyed the main villain.
You can spoil it. We can talk
Yeah,
about
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
I thought...
Spoilers ahead. There you go.
Spoilers.
I'm not familiar... with the villain Ghost. I never read it in the comic books, but it was a
Ghost
guy,
a dude
right?
in the
comic?
Yeah, it was an Iron Man villain.
Yeah, he was.
Point.
I only
remember the new Thunderbolts for a while, wasn't he?
That's the only time I really knew of him was through the Thunderbolts.
But they never gave him an alter ego.
Yeah, he was just Ghost.
Right.
Yeah, and they never really. I don't ever remember a backstory. He was an Iron Man villain for a while, stealing tech.
Yeah, he was the cat burglar.
Yeah.
And it was the suit that gave him invisibility.
Yeah.
He didn't actually have it.
Yeah, he didn't really have it. It was the tech that gave him intangibility and stuff like that.
So, really, as a manufactured for the movie villain, I thought it was pretty good. I think the actress played it pretty good.
Yeah.
That was. I think that was the bright spot of the movie for me.
And she just wasn't evil. She was trying to.
Yeah, right. Herself. Exactly. And it wasn't, your typical. She's done at the end. Mm-hmm. There's still. Room at the end for the character. They even mentioned her after credits again. So, you don't know what the future holds for that. One thing that I couldn't wrap my head around a lot was, the science of it, I guess. They talked a lot of science stuff and, it could be made up for the movie, that type of thing. But I didn't really understand the need to steal the lab back and forth. I didn't understand why they didn't
just because it had everything in it that they
needed. I mean, if Perry White, if he
Lawrence Fishburne,
if he knew that they needed Janet Van Dyne, why didn't they just bide their time because they knew they were going to get her out? Why didn't they just wait until they had her out to do what they needed?
That's
to
why
do?
I felt like the plot was kind of really stupid and spread out. Like
they were.
If Ben Foster was like why didn't he just go to him and be like, "Look, we need help with this girl, and I think you can help her." I don't know why he had to be like he was bad, but then his conscience got the best of him. Like, just be like, "Hey," it was that whole like, "Oh, they don't get along," shit, and it made no sense to me why it was such a thing for them.
You haven't been around professors very often, have you?
Well, of course.
I don't have any professor.
Academic pride and ego is...
But you're trying to save a girl's life.
But the point is that...
So you're going to turn into a villain and, like, kidnap the people?
Well, I don't think he was so much a villain. She was trained by the government to complete tasks.
By S.H.I.E.L.D.
By S.H.I.E.L.D. So she used her knowledge to get what she needed to save her life. Ben Foster, is that his name?
He's like, you do bad things, but I sort of been looking the other way.
It's Black Goliath.
Yeah. But my thing is, he kind of realized that once he was hanging around Pym that they could do something together. He was trying to stop her.
Yeah.
The more he talked to Pym and realized what was going on, that's why he had to change of hearts and like not kill Janet as soon as she came back.
Yeah.
And she was just so bent on what was going on that, she wanted to
Well,
say
I don't
something.
think originally. I think the reason that they were throwing the building back and forth is they weren't going to get her out. They were just going to extract the energy through that quantum bridge thing. That's the way I took it.
Why couldn't they just extract quantum energy? Why did they need it from her?
Because they needed the bridge to actually get there.
Yeah, but why'd they have to take it from Janet? Why can't they just take it out of the bridge?
Well, I don't know why that.
Because at the end, they're taking quantum energy out of the bridge.
Well, not out of the bridge. He goes into the quantum realm.
Yeah.
I think this way, if they get Janet back, she has it in her, and they don't have to go in there and deal with all the.
They said in the movie that she had been there for so long that she had absorbed so much quantum energy.
Yeah.
She had superpowers at the end to make you whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a healing. It was healing quantum energy.
Healing. Justin, we didn't really get your review of it because we already did sort of one on the non-spoiler. What did you think? Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Despite the fact that I enjoyed the comedy and I laughed at pretty much every joke, I thought they might have gone a little too far with this one. There were just it just never stopped. But I laughed and I had fun. So for me, it wasn't a problem, but I can see a lot of other people. I think Adam's going to hate this because it's so comedic. But I can see some people trashing on it because of the amount of comedy. But I really had a good time. I liked it. I thought the stinger, the first stinger at the end was great. The second one was a waste of time, and I wish I hadn't sat there for it. But
Yeah.
But the first one with the tie-in to Infinity War was great. So I had a really good time.
There's a lot in that scene that they quickly glossed over.
Well,
We'll
there's
talk about that later.
Yeah, we can get to that at one after. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. I like the relationship between Scott and his daughter Cassie. I thought that was cool. They're definitely setting up for a future with her possibly becoming Stature. I thought that was cool because she just kind of became his motivation. Like, he wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to go back and help until she gave him the okay, basically, because she understood the risk of him getting involved with it. And once she gave her okay, he was willing to go help.
She was a good moral compass for him.
I like their relationship at the beginning whenever he was on house arrest and he had all that obstacle course set up in his house.
Yeah. Now is Alex using that as a blueprint for the next board?
That was Box Fort 101 right there. That was amazing. I ain't doing all that shit.
all the cardboard down the stairs.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that Goliath would get big at some point. I was hoping that for that.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed that didn't happen. What else did I want to say? I thought the ants were overdone. There were a little too many ants. Especially when the seagull ate the one at the end.
Yeah.
And then it ate three more. One would have been fine.
He just kept eating all the ants.
Yeah.
They were all getting massacred. Did all the ants have saddles on them, too? They just send over a bunch of flying ants with saddles on them?
Well, I think they go around San Francisco and put saddles on all the flying ants.
On all the flying ants?
They do.
I never realized there was that many flying ants around, but...
I mean, there's more than 6, I think, in a whole city.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hokey whenever they made a big giant arrow for them to follow to the lab.
Yeah.
That was kind of.
I thought it was hokey when they had the one with the power drill putting together the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. The Hank Pym Ant-Man thing is a hokey premise.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all that stuff.
Controlling ants. Yeah.
It's all just part of the for me, it's all part of the character.
Yeah.
You're gonna get weird hokiness where they're working for him. So, and like I was saying, the ants are pretty much part of the Hank Pym character. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he uses them as much like that now in the books as he did before.
That was his whole. Well, now they don't because he's half Ultron. So that.
Well, right now.
But
he's half
I think up until probably his new Mighty Avengers run, where he started being the they kind of said that.
When he's a straight yellow jacket.
No, when he was the Wasp.
When he's creating all the pocket dimensions.
Yeah, and he started having Jocasta was with him, and they were making all these subsections of time and space, all in and on each other. Like that. Whenever after Janet died in the comic books, that's whenever he kind of got away from the ants.
Yeah.
I think he always had ants with him up through even Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. Well, actually, probably not because he was a Skrull.
He was a Skrull.
Yeah.
But when he came back, pretty much
It's
actually
been a while
after that,
since he's had the ants.
But if they're focusing on Hank being like Hank at his truest is with the ants, and he's before he beat Janet and she died and all that stuff.
Before he got dark.
Before he got
That
dark,
wasn't the Skrull either.
that wasn't the Skrull. I think they're trying to write all that out. But
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of all that.
But whenever you boil down to Hank Pym to his truest form, he's smart, and then he always works hokey with those ants.
Yeah.
I actually like the fact that whenever he was wearing his suit through time, that looked like remember that cheesy cartoon Avengers from USA?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot more real bulky and silver.
Yeah, it was a classic throwback.
Yeah, so.
All right, Lance, how about you?
Couple things to spoil. Well, actually, the car chase, one of the few chase scenes or action scenes that you referred to. Did anyone else pick up that it was basically the car chase from Bullet?
I never seen Bullet.
I know what Bullet is.
Oh man, now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. You're right.
What's Bullet?
Bullet was a movie in the 70s.
Yeah.
It was Peter Fonda.
It was Jane Fonda.
Oh damn it! If you hadn't said that, I would have.
Anyway, just keep going.
But it was a cop movie,
Okay.
and one of the highlights was this chase in this classic 1965 Mustang through the streets of San Francisco, doing a lot of those, going down the hill, doing the jumps, all that fun sort of thing. I don't know. I mean, all the stuff about the quantum entanglement, all that stuff. Sort of. I mean, it was a little overdone, but I think they were just using it to throw a lot of science words at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quantum defibrillator and all this other nonsense.
Now, I mean, the whole idea about the building and how that's sort of like the football going back and forth. Mm-hmm. I mean, the whole idea is that's a singular piece of equipment that they needed to complete their task. So whoever had it.
I didn't understand why Birch needed it.
So.
I don't think he even knew what the hell it was. He's supposed to be like some gangster.
No, so Birch just wanted to sell it because he figured that someone wanted to buy it because it had quantum technology.
We said he had a buyer.
He had a buyer.
Kind of,
they kind of left that up.
Yeah.
So is it AIM? Is it
right?
Well, it doesn't even matter. And now that half the world is dead.
Yeah.
But I did like Goggins playing that character because he always plays those sort of sleazy.
And
gangster types.
I like that there's a third party involved, and everyone thought he was and he was an afterthought to both of them.
And he kept popping back up.
And he was just an annoyance, which I enjoyed. I just thought it was a nice change. It wasn't like sometimes these Marvel movies can be like, oh, you have this power that's this, let's copy it, and we're gonna do the same thing. Killmonger.
Steve McQueen is Bullet.
Yeah, I just found it.
But
okay. Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You go.
Well,
because we need some light after your darkness.
Justin, much to their dismay, I really didn't care for this movie.
Really?
I thought this was a pretty. I don't know, it's down on my list as far as these Marvel movie goes. I found it boring in a lot of parts. It's just Scott's cute with his daughter and all that, but I don't know. I just didn't really like that whole scene in the beginning. It's nice, but it goes on way too long for me. I felt all the stuff with his crew was already done before. Like it was just like more the same. Like that, like Michael Pena telling those stories real quick like that. It's like, okay, here we go again. It's funny, But I thought the villain was extremely weak. I really didn't understand. She worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. and then now she just wants some help. Like. Again, I don't know why she just didn't go to when she found them, just ask for their help, because she wasn't really an evil person. She just wanted help. Like
she was fed that Hank Pym's the reason why her father's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's
would
that.
Would you ask the person who killed your father?
But it's that cliche
help?
again. We were talking about Marvel movie cliches.
Yeah.
They killed my parents, and now I want revenge. And a simple conversation fixes everything. Like,
would Luke ask Darth Vader for?
And this ain't Luke and Darth Vader. This is Hank Pym. This isn't the ruler of an empire that slaughtered millions. It's a little different with Darth Vader and Hank Pym. And all she knew is Hank Pym maybe killed her dad, and then a simple explanation fixes that right up. It's not even comparable to Luke and Vader. I found it just very weak. Like I don't know. Like the whole thing, like with him being arrested and the government. after them. Like, I don't know. That part was kind of getting on my, with the agent. I don't know. I found myself very, like, annoyed through a lot of this movie. Like, let's just wrap this up and get to the end because I want to see if this ties in with Infinity War.
So you don't even... here's the thing. Your problem with it isn't the fact that this movie's bad. You didn't want to see any of this. You just wanted to see how it tied into Infinity Gauntlet.
So that's all I ended up caring about because I didn't know nothing about Ghost. So I thought, okay, if the villain's cool and there's like there's some good scenes in here, I felt we had one good scene with the Wasp in the beginning where she took on the guys in the bar. Okay. It was good. Yeah. And then that was really it. Like I was expecting more maybe. Like when I saw him do that Giant Man scene in the trailer, I thought this is going to be cool. Like he's going to turn into Giant Man and like save all those people or do something cool. Yeah. He's chasing a guy and picks it up. I was like, this is kind of... He's giant. The first time he's actually Giant Man in public is because he's chasing a guy and has to grab a suitcase off him. Like, that whole play and catch with the football type thing, it just disappointed me. I wanted him in that scene to, like, maybe save all those people. Like, wow, Giant Man's a hero. And it kind of let me down. So, as it got halfway through the movie and I decided I'm not really feeling this, I just was kind of like, all right, let's wrap it up. Ghost isn't really that bad. Let's get to it and let's see what it does at the end if it pleases me with the ending. And I don't know.
I don't see why you didn't appreciate like the callbacks to Civil War.
Well, that's another thing with it. Like, I don't feel like when it ends and he's friends and he's with Hope and he's dating her and he's with Hank, I don't understand at all like why he would have been like Captain America called him, why he wouldn't have told Hank, why he just ran off and then they're like mad at him because he took the suit. Like he's Ant-Man now. Isn't that his suit? Like,
well, apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're like, you left and you never told us where you were going. Like, he went to help Captain America, for Christ's sakes. Like, and you're mad at him for that? It's not like he went on a bank heist. Well, he went to try and help save Cap. Like,
well, you don't know what side that they were on. They might not have chose to help him.
I don't know. I just didn't like the way this movie flowed at all. I didn't like the way it was written. I didn't like any of the stuff. I thought this was like an after-school special Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. I thought it was really kind of bad. I don't know.
I would have liked to have seen more in the quantum realm. I thought those scenes were cool, and I was hoping for more of that. I thought visually that was the best part of the movie.
How was she alive in there for 30 years and not eating or drinking anything either?
Healing quantum energy.
And I don't understand how you could take the mask off in the quantum and you're okay. Like she
evolved,
but he had his off too.
I can't explain that.
Yeah, no one can.
And he almost died, and she had to give him her little zap to bring him back.
The whole thing is they absorb the quantum energy when they're down there, and
it's a lot of pseudo weird.
Well,
science.
It's all going to be stuff to explain how they get.
Yeah, well, if you want to talk about it, or you want to get to the cutscene, we can. Whatever you want.
I don't think the point of the movie was them versus Ghost. I think the point of the movie was bringing Janet back.
Yeah. It's a Janet return story.
And Michelle Pfeiffer was a nice character, though.
Mm-hmm. She was good. I tell you, I really liked Michelle Pfeiffer, and I really liked Hope. I think Angeline Lilly, I'm a big fan of hers from Lost. Mm-hmm. I'm glad to see her getting a major role. I hope she has a big future in the MCU. I would like to see her on the team, working with the other girls, and whatever. I'd like to see more of her. I necessarily, don't want to see more Ant-Man stuff. I'd like to see her in a team with the Avengers. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd like to see her alongside Doctor Strange and Black Panther, because I think she's a cool character.
She is, and the fight scenes and the action scenes that they gave her
were good.
Were good.
And I wouldn't mind seeing Michelle Pfeiffer and Hank being in some sort of, like, if they bring S.H.I.E.L.D. back, if they're, like, the scientist minds.
Some sort of mentor role type.
Yeah, because I think she's really good, and it would be cool to see them in that. If they bring S.H.I.E.L.D. back and Hank and Janet are, like,
they're like the scientific liaisons.
The scientific department for it would be a nice nod.
That would actually be a nice thing since they're sort of writing Robert Downey Jr. out.
Yeah, if you have them as sort, I'm a Hank Pym fan, so I would like to see him in it more.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a place for Ghost too. Now that they've left it open in the end.
Yeah, I could see her joining this female movie that they want to make too.
Well, they kind of said that she was good now.
Yeah.
In the post-credits.
Well, I feel like she's a character too that's the ends to the means. If she's not being healed anymore, she might be stealing tech to find more ways.
If Kevin Feige wants to make 50% of the MCU now female, Ghost is probably going to be. Yeah. If Valkyrie's going to be a part of these, you could bet Ghost is going to be in there too.
Does she have powers anymore though?
Or can the suit replicate it?
The suit will do it. It's always the suit.
Well, didn't they said they needed the healing thing to keep healing Ghost?
Mm-hmm.
I think she needs to keep eating it, or she'll keep losing control.
Keep eating the energy.
Yeah.
Eating the energy.
Or
is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. done?
It's coming back for one more season, I think.
I was going to say, there's a lot of backstory that can be told just with that little piece of her being
It returns after Avengers 4, for whatever. That way they're skipping the whole snap stuff.
Well,
So speaking of the snap stuff,
I really think that the two cutscenes, even though how little the ant playing drums were at the very end, it's very telling of what is happening on the world. Because I'm going to skip that one because everyone kind of threw it away. They cut to a scene where all communication, the TV channel's down. It sounds like there's nothing going on outside in a very busy metropolis of San Francisco. And the only thing left is the ants.
Right.
So that's a large, population of people gone. And I think we maybe talked after Infinity War that maybe it's them some time period later trying to, plan and how they can get the gauntlet back or do something. This seems like it's going to be after Infinity War. It's almost like desolate. It's a post-apocalyptic situation.
It's 50%
What was
of the population.
what was the Stephen King movie?
Stand.
Stand.
No, yeah, okay. But so that shows a lot just in how the world is now afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch Janet said to Scott before he went in, don't get caught in a time warp?
Yep.
So
That was
Yeah.
do you think maybe he's going to get back in time
Totally.
and fix this instead of...
Now the pictures make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the pictures that they showed where it was Cap in his old Avengers outfit,
Yeah.
and Iron Man in his old one, and Thor with the long hair, and Ant-Man standing next to them?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, why are they in these old pictures? He's totally going to show up at that battle in New York in 2012, or whenever it took place.
But is he going to know what happened?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's scenes of him standing next to them dressed in those old outfits.
They all have
from
that.
Yeah.
They all have something on their
And they all had
hand.
something on their hands, like a...
It could be one of those things they're throwing for size.
Yeah, it's something. He's going to go back and wind up and
Or if he gets in the time stream and then can use the time gem. Or somehow manipulate the time gem.
Maybe he ends up in the gauntlet.
Yeah. I mean, they can explain this a lot of ways. Like, when you get down that small, they can just use scientific mumbo-jumbo.
He's not smart enough to know anything.
Right.
No, but he can maybe...
It's a good point. He's really not that
Unless-
worried about it.
Gamora's in the gauntlet as well since she died and helps
In Soul Stone.
in the Soul Stone.
He's obviously the key to it.
Yes.
Because the ending was he's stuck there alone. He's
Yeah.
like Brock said, they mentioned the time warp. You're going to get stuck in a time warp. He's going to end up somewhere and be like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know what's going on, and probably figure it out somehow that
And
something
He
bad
got out of
happened.
there before.
Yeah.
Like
it
was real
got
quick,
himself
but he
out
got
in
out of
that,
there before.
Yeah.
It might not be in the exact same place he went in, but I guess that's the idea.
As soon
of
as
a
she
tunnel.
said that line that Brock mentioned, I thought something's going to happen here.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were going to blink them all out, but I thought something was going to happen, and they blinked them all out.
Which is great. Like,
Yeah, it was a good ending because I think it's cool to have Ant-Man as the key. I kind of was hoping maybe it also explains that promo image we saw where Wasp isn't in that group of Avengers that's still around. So
They got me in the first cutscene because when he wouldn't answer them, I'm like, he blinked out. And he wouldn't answer them on the mic, and then he picked it up. Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of did that.
yeah,
theatrically
that's
to
right.
get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's gone?
Yeah.
All three of them went. I bet you his daughter goes too, and there are a lot of them.
well, I mean, you wouldn't even know. Well, it almost seems like all of San Francisco's gone.
Yeah, there was not a lot. It reminded me of when I went out on the 4th of July. We went out to eat. There was no one
Nobody
out hanging out in Cranberry. I said to Saber, "This is what it's like when Thanos blinks on after one night." I was like, "This ain't that bad." There's 4 people in Olive Garden. There's a couple people at Bed Bath and Beyond. Like, it wasn't that bad. It was like, this is all right. I can hang out in a world like this. Like, go to the store. It's not that bad. 2-minute wait. I don't know. It'd be all right.
Too bad you only got a rubber glove.
That's it. Bet he only got a rubber glove. So we think
Infinity Enema.
we think he's going to end up leading to. I knew that. I thought that for sure that he's going to end up being a key role. That's
How's he
why.
going to get out of there?
Is there anybody in there else other than her? Other than Janet?
There's those slug-looking things.
Also, too, if there's quantum energy that can heal people, you can always tie that to Adam Warlock.
Well, they also pointed out that you can share information through quantum energy.
Yeah.
Like there, she possessed his body
yeah.
from the outside.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's all made up. So
Maybe
you
you're
can do
onto
it.
something that
It's
she
almost like
gets
force
inside.
talking.
He gets
Yeah.
with time stream that he ends up in a gem somehow.
Yeah.
It runs into Gamora. That would be kind of cool.
Could they bring Ghost more to the forefront? That she's got the ties to the quantum energy?
Probably.
That he could make a connection to her, maybe?
Unless she
And then they could bring in Ben Foster, and they could help get him out if they weren't blinked out.
Then we maybe would see him in the become
Goliath.
Goliath. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I also thought the cutscene was pretty cool because, in Avengers, it was like convenience. It was every other hero
Yeah.
blinked out. This one, Scott, and then the rest of them were gone.
Yeah.
There was 3 of them
Yeah.
gone. 2 of the smartest people in the world
Yeah.
out.
Some
Gone.
people that could help.
Yep.
Yep.
It's strange that they're just sitting there working on that project, not knowing that all hell's breaking loose
Yeah,
around
yeah.
the rest of the world, and not
On the
really
rooftop,
worried,
on a-
not really worried about it.
They're
You
on the
know?
other side of the country.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on the news like, oh shit, look, the Avengers are all fighting. Maybe we should go help.
Nothing on the
Garage
left
with a
coast.
van.
Yeah.
They're all in Wakanda, and all hell's breaking loose. We're good. We'll just deal with Ghosts and her quantum stuff going on.
They're a friend now.
Yeah.
So, all right, we ready to rate this thing then?
Do
Anything
you have
else?
anything to say,
Justin?
Justin?
No, I'm ready to rate. Let's do it.
All right. I forget what I rated other movies to rate this.
Would you like me to look it up for you, Ken?
Yeah, sure, if you don't
Don't
mind.
do it.
As everybody sits here and listens to me.
So one, while we're waiting here, the girl who played Ghost
Yeah.
was one of the villains from Ready Player One. She played Finale.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did she?
Who's Finale?
I don't remember who she is.
Finale
She
was.
chasing them the whole time.
She was Sorrento. She was the main bad guy's right hand chick.
She is Sorrento.
The one with the really squared off weird bangs.
The one
Yeah.
who had the actual gun.
Yeah, she was the one that was going to kill people.
She wasn't in the
Yeah,
weird
there you go.
world. Okay, hold on.
Ken's looking at it. So okay, so she was all right.
Uh,
I don't know. The ghost fight scenes against them, all the teleporting and the shrinking, it felt kind of like everyone had the same.
It reminded me of the Ghost twins from The Matrix.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
was just
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say
with the
that.
face.
Phasing
Phasing
in
it
and
out.
out into
Yeah.
the car. She phased into the seat of the car like they did.
yeah, and then
I was
like when they did shoot her, it was like, oh, it didn't really hurt enough to really knock her out. You know, I don't know. It was funny when he shrunk down to the little kid size.
yeah.
That part
Yeah.
I thought was
was
amusing.
funny.
You know?
I got annoyed with the regulator. Like, oh, I got to make all these.
The
moves.
regulator seems to be a go-to
That was just
sort of.
comedy.
That's
Yeah.
how he's going to get out of the quantumverse. It's going to malfunction and he's going to shoot back out. Just dumb luck.
Oh, I hope not.
You probably call it.
Yeah, he's like, this thing's not
Yeah.
slamming on his belt, and
Yeah.
poof, he shows up on the roof.
I have one question too. Does her blasters change the size of things, or does discs? Because they both seem to be doing.
No,
that.
she was shooting discs from her
Okay.
from her hand.
Yeah, she had discs that would shrink and grow things, and
And then her stinger.
There's only one thing that I truly wish that they would have brought from the comic books to these movies, and it wouldn't have made it as exciting, but I would have enjoyed it, is the fact that you can't switch size that quickly without being, your body went through some kind of like
Trauma.
trauma. Like, I remember Hank's like, I can't shrink and then grow really big because it's too much trauma on my molecules.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't do it. So that's why he was either shrinking or growing. Because to go real small to real big. Because isn't that how that killed Wasp?
yeah.
When she died in the Mighty Avengers, she was like, to fight off those symbiote.
She had to go big.
She was real small, but then decided to go real big. And she killed whoever
strength.
she needed to, and then it was too much and she died. I wish they would have had that a little
Well, they
more.
sort of hinted at it because when I go big, I have to sleep for you know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
didn't like
not-
how he
it's
always
not
had a flying
detrimental.
ant available. No matter where they were, there was a flying ant available. Like
Well, if you
if he
control,
just jumped and a
Seagulls.
flying ant flew under his ass and he took off. And I was
Well-
like, oh, okay.
if you could control millipedes that come out from your carpet and eat spiders, I'm sure a bunch would jump out right now at you, and you can ride on them.
Yeah. All right, we ready for ratings now?
Sure.
Okay, KFP movie rating.
All right, Justin, why don't you go first?
3.75 cheese wheels.
Mustaches.
Mustache.
You're getting mustaches now. All right, Robert.
3.5 descript ball caps.
Ooh.
Lance?
3 ebony bald heads.
Wow. Surprise.
Broccolini?
I'm going to go 3.5. Nondescript baseball caps.
All right. Donald?
I'll go 3.
All right.
Which I'm surprised because me and Lance didn't really seem like we didn't agree on that movie. Then we had the same damn score after it was over.
I'm going to go 3.5. Bandana.
What color?
Camouflage.
Camouflage. Shit, I don't have that one. I'll have to look that up.
Exactly.
There you
So
go.
please tell us what you think of the movie. Tell Don he's full of shit. Actually, no, because you and Lance have the same score.
Same score, yeah. Surprisingly, everybody's was lower. So I was like,
Well,
all right.
I gave like Avengers like 4. It's not that good.
No, yeah, it's not. It's a whole.
It's not as good as the first Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
No.
So
It's not bad. It's just not as good as the others.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You just came off real negative.
Well, there's a lot of things I didn't like about it, which but it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that I couldn't stand.
You just said like when we did the non-spoiler review, you made it seem like a heaping pile of shit.
Yeah, you looked like it was going
You
to
were
give it like a
you
1.
were like,
You did.
you made it seem like
Yeah,
this
you're
was
pretty rough
worse
on
than the Suicide Squad.
You did.
I guess probably because I had a lot of high expectations that I thought this was going to be
glove
really,
makes my
really,
hands
really.
smell.
I know, really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I was looking for a 4.5 on this movie.
I don't think you. That's like. I don't know, I was about to get real weird. You can't maintain that forever. This movie had a means.
I'm a big Wasp fan, so I was looking forward to her debut.
The band Wasp.
Yeah, the Wasp.
man.
Yeah. So,
I think anything with Ant-Man, I think, is going to be Marvel fluff going forward. If
Ooh, I
they
love some
give,
fluff.
if ultimately they
Just
give
fluff.
Wasp her own movie, I think it'll be more serious.
okay.
I don't know if you can. I like them together. I don't want to see them separate.
Yeah.
Actually, one sciencey thing.
Oh God. Way to ruin this flow.
I
This
know.
Lance.
Dials just
Wah, wah.
changed.
Hey, let's bring us back 20 minutes.
Good.
No, okay, so you remember when Hank was shrinking, or Pym was shrinking, going to the quantum realm, and there was those creatures that were going to eat him?
Yeah.
Those are real.
Okay.
They were-
There you go.
They sound like whales.
No, I don't know what they sound like, but they're microscopic.
I guess. Yeah. Well, one day we'll see them. We can shrink into the quantum world. I guess for me, the main thing with these things is you can keep making a lot of these movies, but for me, you got to have really good villains for these movies. And I feel like some of these characters, getting 3 movies, you start running out of some quality ones that start to make it like, these villains, like Yellow Jacket was a stretch to begin with. You know, that's how I kind of feel with like where Doctor Strange may fell and Black Panther and a lot, and they don't have a lot of really great villains that carry movies. And you got to have good villains that carry
Well,
movies.
you either have to have a really good villain or a really good plot.
Yeah. I just
Sonny
Thanos
Burch is
set the
coming
bar
back.
pretty damn high for villains. It's hard.
But also too, that's leading up to the giant 10-year climax.
No, I know.
You've been stroking for 10 years, and this is the climax to it.
I know.
I really think that this movie. I'm glad you caught that, Lance. This movie, I think, was really to be like, this is the world before or during Infinity War, and a little bit after. And here's how your key to whatever happens shows up.
I get you. And the reason why I didn't go lower in this movie is because even though I didn't like what was going on, it still fit a key puzzle piece in there, making Ant-Man very crucial to what happens next year.
Yep.
So it did that at the end to say, this is how he ended up in the quantum world.
Yeah.
We had to talk about the quantum world. He's the key to beating this. So
It really is. I really feel like these 2 movies are like, the quantum world's going to mean something.
it's going to mean a lot.
Yeah,
so
so
that's
you
why
got-
it's
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Hold on. They're like, hold on. Hold on. It's going to mean a lot. Wait for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Next year, he's going to boom, and he's there with the quantum energy taking on
Hey,
Thanos.
maybe by this time, Surfer might be in the quantum realm.
It's true. There could be a lot of there could be mutants in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
There
I
could
mean,
be-
maybe he goes back and fixes all this, and they clean up.
it could mean a lot. So that's why I'm
Oh,
okay.
you mean in the whole X-Men joining the universe
Yeah.
reboot
Hey,
thing?
listen, time streams. Deadpool's got a time jumper too.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of stuff that could happen. So
If
we
they
will
start
see.
referring to Earths as like Earth 661 and things like that, I'm out.
No.
No, we won't do that. All right,
Well, I mean, they may, but we won't.
take us
All
out.
right. Please like, share, subscribe, invite, tell us what you think, and check out our SoundCloud and kiss your mother in the mouth for me.
Yeah, there it is. Exactly.